What is up, team? It's your boy Sledge from SledgeIncTeam, back with another video. And today, we gonna be talking about how to get approved for Navy Federal credit cards. And you know over here at SledgeInc, we get straight to business, so let's get to it. First things first, we're going to run down the 10 requirements that'll help you get approved for Navy Federal credit cards. And those 10 topics are membership requirements, credit scoring history, debt to income, new car sensitivity, a relationship with Navy Federal, income requirements, number of credit cards allowed and when to apply, credit limits, other approval factors, and number 10, credit card rules. Let's jump right into number 1, membership requirements. We first need to know who qualifies for the Navy Federal Credit Union, because you have to be a member in order to apply for their credit cards. Memberships are open to active duty, retired, veteran military personnel, former and current employees of the Department of Defense, immediate family of current members, and also roommates of current members. And one more thing that isn't often said, if you work as a contractor for the Navy Federal Credit Union, you can also become a member. Number 2 is your credit score and your credit history. Navy Federal doesn't have a stated minimum credit score for their credit cards, but doing my research, members have reported that you need somewhere around a 670 or above credit score to get their higher tier credit cards, which are the Navy Federal Flagship Card and the Navy Federal More Rewards Card. And for Navy Federal's other unsecured cards, you'll likely need a credit score of 580 and above. And that's for cards such as the Navy Federal Platinum Card, Go Rewards, and Cash Rewards. You can get the Navy Federal N Rewards Secured Card with limited or no credit. The N Rewards Secured Card is to help you build credit if you're working on your credit or if you just have limited credit. Do your research on sometimes a secured credit card is your best option when you're working on your credit or if you have limited credit history.
If you don't want to do the research, which a lot of y'all don't do, it's okay. I'm doing it for you.
Navy Federal also has a pre-qualification tool. So it's important that you know that you can go see if you pre-qualified before you apply for any Navy Federal credit cards without impacting your credit. Number 3 is debt to income or DTI ratio. Navy Federal, just like every other bank or credit union, considers your DTI as part of their risk assessment. And the lower your DTI, the better chances of approval you have of getting approved for Navy Federal credit cards. For Navy Federal, they prefer your DTI to be around less than 30 to 35%, preferably less than 30 if you would like to get high limit credit cards. And I know this because I talked to a Navy Federal rep and they confirmed this information. Because when I get in front of this camera and present my information to you, I want to come to you with facts and not information that I just heard someone else say or regurgitated information that's been going around the internet for years. Number 4 is new card sensitivity. Navy Federal tends to be more lenient than some credit unions and banks about having multiple credit card applications with other issuers. However, I would advise you to space out your Navy Federal applications to at least 91 days to increase your chances of approval and decrease your chance of denial, because too many recent approvals on your credit report could hurt your chances of approval, especially for their higher tier cards, the Navy Federal More Rewards Card and the Navy Federal Flagship Card. Number 5 is relationship with Navy Federal. There's no way around this one. Navy Federal likes for you to have existing accounts on your credit profile, especially if you're working on your credit or if you have limited credit history. Having a checking, savings, or other accounts with Navy Federal and having healthy balances may influence credit card applications, as well as your Navy Federal internal score. But despite what you might have heard on the internet, You don't have to go crazy and get a bunch of Navy Federal products in order to be approved for their credit cards. If you have a standard savings, checking, and maybe throw in direct deposit, you're more than likely good if you're trying to get any type of credit card approvals. But as I stated earlier, Navy Federal does have an internal score, which is based off your history with them. And it includes items such as account activity, direct deposits, timely payments on loans and credit cards. And those loans include secured loans, unsecured loans, auto loans, mortgages, or any other type of loan. The Navy Federal internal score ranges from 100 to 450, but this score is only generated when you apply for a Navy Federal credit card. A score of 300 or better generally means that Navy Federal sees you as a good customer. Number 6 is income requirements. Navy Federal, just like every other bank and credit union, requires you to supply your stated income. This stated income can come from a full-time job, a part-time job, military benefits, retirement income, or wherever your income comes from, as long as it's legal. Do your research on only reporting legal income.
If you don't want to do the research, which a lot of y'all don't do, it's okay. I'm doing it for you.
If you have low income, adding a spouse or a family member as a joint applicant or authorized user may increase your chances of approval. That is not guaranteed. And make sure you trust the person that you're going to make a joint applicant or an authorized user on any of your applications. Number 7, the number of credit cards allowed. Navy Federal typically allows its members to hold 3 Navy Federal personal credit cards. 4 if you get the Navy Federal Go Biz card, which is a business card. But this is dependent on your credit worthiness and your current credit limits. And remember, space out your applications 91 days to increase your chance of approval. Number 8, credit limits. Yeah, I know y'all like this one. Everybody come to these type of videos because we all know that Navy Federal was known as the house of high limits. So many people apply for Navy Federal credit cards, assuming that they're going to be approved for very high credit limits. But what you must understand, these high limits depend on your credit score, your income, your existing debt, and your overall credit profile. Now, if you are unsatisfied with your initial credit limit, you can always call or message Navy Federal and have them reconsider that limit. But do understand, even if you do that, it's not guaranteed that Navy Federal will offer you a higher credit limit. Me personally, I applied for the Navy Federal More Rewards card on the very first day of membership with Navy Federal, and I was given a credit limit of $25,000. And if you want to support the channel, think about purchasing the new merch. We got a new hoodie collection, Scullies, mugs. Man, support the team. Oh, and if you use promo code SledgePromo, you get 10% off the total order. That's promo code SledgePromo. But also understand that you can request a credit limit increase after 91 days of being approved for your card, and then every 6 months after that increase. If you have the Navy Federal flagship card, your total credit limit is maxed out at $80,000 across all of your Navy Federal credit cards. And that's because the max limit on the Navy Federal flagship card is $80,000 in itself. The maximum credit limit on any other Navy Federal unsecured card is $50,000. Number 9, other approval factors. I get a lot of questions about people having bankruptcies and getting approved for Navy Federal credit cards. And after talking to a Navy Federal rep, Navy Federal can be cautious with people that have recent bankruptcies. But don't give up, because Navy Federal is also known to work with people who have had bankruptcies and also approve them for credit cards after that bankruptcy has been discharged. But according to that Navy Federal rep, it could take 2 to 3 years to get a decent credit card approval after a recent bankruptcy. We have made it to number 10, y'all. And number 10 is Navy Federal credit card rules. And the first rule we're going to talk about is the secured card graduation. The Navy Federal N Rewards secured card can graduate to a Navy Federal cash reward card in 6 to 12 months with responsible use. If you use the N Rewards secured card and pay it off monthly, timely, this card will graduate to a cash rewards card in 6 months. Let me rephrase that, in 7 months, because it's after 6 months. You have to use it responsibly for 6 months, and in that 7th month, it will graduate to a cash rewards card. But the most important thing is you have to use the card. You just can't apply for it and hold on to it and then expect for it to graduate to the cash rewards card. Another Navy Federal credit card rule is that the Navy Federal flagship card may have stricter requirements, such as a higher income and higher credit score requirements. But that's really it for their rules. So if you're eligible to get into the Navy Federal Credit Union and you can make use of high limit credit cards, I highly recommend you to join the Navy Federal Credit Union. Well, if you like this content or was just entertained, hit that thumbs up, share this video, but most importantly, drop a salute emoji in the comment section. And remember, we used to use umbrellas, now we changed the weather. Don't let that go over your head. It's your boy Sledge. Salute. Join the membership. Join the membership. Join the membership.